Every visionary has a story to tell. These stories educate and inspire us all.
You could hear them cranking up in the morning and hear the click, click, click of the roller coaster.
It's really feeling satisfied and feeling gratified with bringing happiness to young children, especially families.
Working with people who are having a good time is so much better than any other job.
Join us as we learn from these trailblazers.
And I was responsible for all shows within the Swedish park organization. I don't know if you ever heard about Folkets Park, folk parks. There were 240 parks in Sweden. If you had the age you left the job, it was difficult to meet your old friends from your job. They met in the parks. A lot of clubs, football, whatever it was, they met also in the parks. But the park was where you could meet people you want to see. Low entrance fee, maybe during those time it was in Swedish crowns, maybe it was 2-3 crowns to start it with. I came in there 1954. I started as an artist, I booked some of the most popular artists, both Swedish and foreign, and orchestras. We were a lot of people who made the booking because all those parks wanted to have something happen in the park, let's say between 2 and 5 days a week. But it was a very special organization which started around between 1895 and 1905, something like that. And I started as a booker to book those artists. Then I was producer. Then it's ended up with I was responsible for everything. We had theater. Around 15-20 different things, from musical to drama, comedies and so on. We had bands, dancing music, dances. We had a lot of different things, everything just for 1 or 2 stages in every park. Places for dancing, modern dance, pop, rock when they come in. And also all the Swedish folk dance and all those things. I started then 73 when Liseberg was 50 years, and we started with we had a lot of TV shows, both live and which were good shows. It was easy to start for me to Liseberg. It was a kind of old company. It was, as I told you, 50 years old, but the organization was a little bit old time. It was well known and so, no problem at all. But there were no organization, no plans for the future. So I started to say that we are going to say du to everyone, your first name, and so. And there were people who left the company just because of that. Were 2 ladies, old ladies, and 1 young guy. And that was he was a writer, in fact. But he said, no, I'm not interested to be here to say everyone should call me du. And I mean, I thought they were joking with me, but that was Liseberg. Perfect. Good morning. Good morning. So I always first month said, who the hell are they lifting their caps on for? No, that was for me. I said, come on. I mean, it was easy. we had 7 or 9 restaurants, and people for lunch, they had to leave the park and go out in the city here to find something to eat every lunch. I said, but what the hell are we doing with all the restaurants? Oh, that's not for us. But one can be for us. We shall maybe we should pay something, but we don't have to earn money on us. No. They started with he was the financial manager, it was the artist manager, and myself. We were 3. So they were, after the first week I said, where are the others? No, but we don't know if we should start this. I know that we should start it. We start it next week, absolutely. I mean, it's ridiculous. We have to meet each other. I mean, it was unbelievable for me and for a lot of people there. And then we had started meeting every week. We made a new organization and we tried a lot of things. We made many good things and we made a lot of bad things and mistakes, of course. And first of all, I wanted a bigger area, but that was impossible. So, you should ask to get more guests in here. And they didn't call them guests, they called them people. Menschen. And we made long-term plans. And we started to inform our owners, the city of Gothenburg. I was not too interested in roller coasters from the beginning. They were old things, not too. But they got the first modern one to the 50th anniversary, 73, when I started. That was a Flom ride. We started with an applause award because there was a lady who was a sculptor, most famous sculptor in Scandinavia during that time. And her husband was a #1 artist and writer in Sweden, Evert Taube called. Okay, and we started with applause award. I wanted 2 hands and she was working 6-7 months something with those hands. It was difficult for an artist to just, I wanted this one. And a sculpturing copper. And we started with that and we made it international. We also made another one. The first one was made for people who made something good, what we can laugh at, some good news in Sweden, and especially in Gothenburg, of course, and also Liseberg. Then they made a new applaud called Tourist Applause Award, and people who made what makes it good for the business. I think it was good to listen to what I have done. It was not a matter of having the biggest roller coaster or the longest or whatever it was. Famous because if you have a new roller coaster, you are #1 year 1. #2, you are 2 or 3 or something on the list, of course. But for me, it was a matter of course to tell that we are a park and we are in a country not called Switzerland but Sweden, and it's a park owned by a city. And I didn't say that it's very good to be owned by a city. It depends on what you make of it, of course, and it also depends on the city, or the board you have. I remember the first convention. There were parks, and so they were bigger or so, and that was the first session was in the morning, probably Monday or Tuesday when it started, for small parks. And I went into these small parks because I thought, of course, we were there. That was where we belong. And we were there, and it started that you have to stand up and tell your name and the park and the country and so on. And I also got the question, how many guests you have? So we have just 1.2 million or something. And they start laughing. But you are not a small park. Why? Why? Because of what? Well, you have a 1 million guests. Yes, but we are not number one. No. But you can stay here, but you are not a small park. We just want to tell you that. I didn't know that. No. But that was to sit down with those people. Small parks from all over the world. Most of them in the States, of course. It was possible to sit down and really ask them questions. You get good answers, and you could. I liked them. They were open and asked me a lot of things in Sweden. I could tell them about parks, folk parks, or whatever it was, the other parks in Scandinavian countries, and so on. The difference between we have plans maybe for themes. Some days we have discussed theme like religions or different so and so. Many laughed and said, we have those things here and that was not good or whatever it was. But you got a lot of opinions and people were open, fair and discussing. I liked that one. That was the main thing. Then it was a guy who came into my room one morning and said, "Bo, we have discussed you." I said, "Yeah, good. Are you interested to you have been on the board for 1 year now?" "Yes, that's right, yeah." "Yeah, do you think in the future you are interested to be president?" "No, come on, no. Take an old man." "Oh, you are old enough." "Sorry." Okay. So they discussed it, and then just the same evening they had a meeting. And it was of course interesting, but I thought that to be a president you should be on the board for 10-15 years or something, not 1 year. But yeah. And they told me that so and so, what do you expect of me? "Oh yeah, you can. First of all, you can go around the world and look at parks." "No, it's not necessary." I told them, I told them, "You can save money because I've seen all those countries already." That was paid by my earlier jobs. So not so important. But of course I want to go to tell me where to go and what do you expect me to do if I can do something. And if it's not okay, you can just fire me. That will be no problem at all. I didn't find out that from when they told me that that I was the first non-American. I had no idea about that at all. Because I met during convention there for 2 years or something, maybe 3 I was there. I met a lot of guys. I have all those names back home there. They were well-known park owners and so on. But that it was just been US people earlier. I had no idea. What can we do? How can we get our guests in the park? And why are they going there? Are they going to see an artist? To make a ride? Can we teach them something? What can we tell them about? Not one theme. It should be a lot of theme, but maybe not called a theme park, but it should be the most important place. As I mentioned many times now, it should be after we know what happened yesterday, we should be interested in tomorrow.